a friend to the same high degree that George is capable of.
But
Like-
I disagree. I'm sorry, go ahead.
On the definition of friend, I read a definition years ago of friend, and I'm going to steal it from Emerson. And he said a friend is your other self.
Wasn't that great? Did you notice how everyone was respecting each other? Did you notice how there's one really intelligent guy in the back made a good point about crooks, and everybody was flipping through their book? That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Be sure to have a conversation. If the duck is talking, the sheep should not cut him off. Likewise, if the cow is making a good point, these two porkers over here should not be having a side conversation. Respect is the key. Always be professional. We're going to watch another clip now. Notice how the circles have flipped. Inside goes to outside. The folks who were on the inside doing the talking are now going to be taking careful notes. The people that were on the outside now get to add their 2 cents. Big Texas! This final clip you're about to watch is going to be about the American dream. Does it still exist? That's for you to decide. Let's take a look.
I really think if you read some of the founding documents with an emotional approach, I really think the American dream is having a certain amount of safety, feeling of safety and security, and a fair amount of, a reasonable amount of happiness. And I think that's what the original documents pointed toward, and I hope that that's still what, that doesn't mean you have to be rich, it doesn't mean you have to have an exuberant amount of money, but it means that you have a basically secure, somewhat self-determined, happy lifestyle.
My first thought as a social studies teacher, when I think of the American dream, is the Statue of Liberty. Give me your teeming masses, your poor, your refuse, like the trash. Give us your trash and we can come to America and make it change. And I think it does revolve around money. I think that the idea is that on the Statue of Liberty, it says, ancient lands, keep your palm. Keep your rich people, keep your stuck-up people, we don't want them. We want the people to come here and make it. And I think that maybe it's based around happiness, but I think there's a huge part of the American dream that's based around money. And that when you come to America, you kind of need money to be happy, which I don't know if that's the case in all of the other parts of the world. But in America, the dream is to come here, get that white picket fence, and it might have changed in some ways nowadays, but I do think that it's consistently revolved around making it money-wise.
Because the question is, what is the American dream? And I think we can go around the circle and everybody has a different individual answer for that. But is there a general, I mean, I think that there is a general American dream that, you know, probably most people, you know, strive for in some way because they see it on TV or they see it in media or, you know, probably not so much in books anymore. But I think there is sort of a general American dream, and I don't know, I said what I think it is, but I'm curious what other people think the more general American dream is. Not your own individual American dream, but what is the general American dream?
I agree. You just said what I was thinking. I think that we all, except for what Mr. Wise said earlier, we were talking about our individual dreams, and Mr. Wise was talking about the melting pot and so forth. I think that the question, when I look at the question and I analyze the question, it's what is the, what do they mean by dream in the question? Is it the vision, the American vision? Like, what is dream?
I look at the Aborigines who are homeless, living off the land, who have no concept of money and seem to be perfectly happy. Here, it seems that the American dream is cultivated on money because money will bring you happiness, especially when you don't know what happiness is or how to get it. So if you don't know how, you don't know how to have a direction to get there, you know, you can sort of have money and maybe that will buy you happiness or buy you a hobby or a reason to wake up in the morning. And it seems as when we say to our students, you got to go to college because if you go to college, research shows that you'll make more money. That's all true, but what seems to be missing is the fact that, why do we want the money at all is because we're in the pursuit of the happiness, which was actually, getting back to what you said at the very beginning. And even when you get the money, you're just really not that happy anyway, so then what? Then you start doing things that you shouldn't be doing to make you happy.
In pursuit of that.
Mr. Conway cracks me up. Did you notice how, when that clip was playing, they weren't just using Of Mice and Men. They were referencing the text, but they were also referencing history, Aborigines, things like that. They were referencing history. They were referencing things perhaps they'd learned in other classes. They were referencing their outside knowledge. That's what you need to do when you participate in a Socratic discussion. Right, Dr. Bowden?
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Whew. We've been through a lot today, folks. I feel like we learned a lot about Socratic discussions. But there's 3 things I'd like you to take home from this video. Number 1, always listen to your classmates. You can learn a lot from your peers. You want to make sure that you don't run your mouth while other people are talking. B, you always want to make sure that you give your own opinion. Because what's the use of participating in a Socratic discussion if you're not going to let your voice be heard? Don't be quiet in the corner. Get out there and participate. And finally, D, you always want to respect each other. Don't cut people off. If you do, apologize. Make sure that people know that everyone's trying to be on the same page, and a conversation should evolve. Well, that's all I have the time for. I'm going to get out of here. Oh, it's important to observe proper etiquette while doing a Socratic discussion. The last thing...
Did you see a brown dog?
Oh my God. Etiquette, Mr. Wise.
No, his name's Homer.
It's important when you conduct a Socratic seminar to always use proper etiquette.
Did you see a brown dog?
Come on, Wise. Get out of my shot. This is ridiculous. What? That's it. Cut it. Second thing you have to do is have a few questions in mind. That's why I'm writing some down. Okay. Oh, hello. If you're watching this, then you're probably going to be doing a Socratic seminar today. I'd like to talk to you for a few moments about what that is and what it entails. Okay. Cut it there, and we'll go. Your teacher will take care of grading this, but know you will be graded. Possible things you might be graded on include making thoughtful comments. Oh, hello. You're probably thinking at this point that you'd like to see how exactly one of these conversations, your light's not on. We're all set now. I don't even remember what we're doing. Texas. The final clip you're about to watch, it's not the final clip.